So you want to do the research to refresh one of your lectures, and you want it to only use trusted sources. You don't want it to hallucinate. I'll show you how to use notebooklm.google.com to do the research, not so much to create the images, but to do the researches to find what you need to refresh one of your lectures. This is going to be part of a series of videos by the Association of Academic Radiologists leading up to our annual conference in 2027 on AI. So first, let's start by adding sources. You can add up to 50 sources, and you just click on Add Sources here, or you can type a search right here. So if you click on plus, you can type in a query, and it'll find articles for you, searching the web or using your drive. And you can do it as fast research or deep research, and deep research is great. Or you can simply upload files that you already have, like PDFs or articles, things that you've created, or you can add in web links, websites, or YouTube videos, things from your drive or copied text. Next, we want to focus on this middle window, which is the chat box, where you can use AI to ask questions of the sources. So you can either click all of the sources or just some of the sources, and then you can ask it questions like you would in AI chat box. And ask it hard questions like, what are the recent advances? What are things that may be difficult for your learners, or some new frameworks that may be helpful for them, and continue to ask it questions. Don't just take it as a first one answer, but continue to ask deeper and deeper questions so that you can figure out what it is that you want to. And in this sense, you're using the AI and the chat box as a co-thinking helper, as a way to explore further, and not simply a one-click answer. The third column is artifacts that you can have the AI create for you. And you can see there are a lot of choices, and you can just one click on them, and it'll do it using any of the sources that you've clicked. But I want to suggest that you more often use the little button next to it, such as with an infographic, click on here, the little side arrow, and then you can type here what you actually wanted to focus on. And you can pick the style and detail, but ask it very specific things to really focus on. And yes, you can share this entire notebook with your learners by clicking the share button, and they can share this as a link. But I'm going to suggest you also instead have them create their own notebook. Share one or two sources, and then have them create their own learning aids. And in the next video, we'll cover a bit more on how to use each of these, but go ahead and explore all of these choices. Which gets us to our role as educators. There's no value in simply one-click lectures that are produced by this and given to our learners, but there is value when they create it themselves and you use it maybe as a pre-learning or as a review after the lecture, and then you can even check on their learning before the lecture and ask them to share how they used the notebook to prepare for the lecture and what they learned from it, and then they can add value. And so then your lectures become focused on where you can add value, where you show your thought processes with the residents or other learners, where you work through ambiguity, focus on clinical relevance, and build camaraderie among all of the learners. There are alternatives, and the best way to find those is just to ask your favorite AI chat box, what are the alternatives? And here are some. Our pro tip is how to avoid resources that look very AI generated. Our Gen Z learners call it AI slop. So things that look overly AI generated, maybe like this, we can create output that looks different. And so here's a version is where you change the custom prompt. And this one is, I said, make it clean and minimal and modern. Just make it use black and white, no colors, line art, avoid icons and other slop. And you could use something like this, or you could talk with the agent about creating a really nice prompt and cutting it into the custom instructions. And then you can end up with something that looks a little bit more simple and less AI generated, and this will be better received. So share in the comments how you use notebookLM, and join us at our annual conference, which will be on AI.